Jai Gurudev. It's a great joy to welcome everyone to this conference call from the Brahmastan of India. And with me sitting here are the great Raja of Sweden, Raja Bruce Plout, and it's a great delight that he's here along with his wife Kim. And sitting next to him is the Raja of Switzerland, Raja Felix. So a huge warm welcome to you, and it's a great treat to share this beautiful Sunday afternoon with you. There was an idea that Raja Bruce had together with the great national leader of Sweden, Thomas, to have a call where people get a sense, those who aren't here, what is it like to be at the Brahmastan? And the truth is what it's like has to do with what happens inside. It has to do with the peace and the silence and the sweetness of the daily experience of our meditation, and then especially the unique chance to listen to the Maharshi Vedic Pundits. So we thought that the best way to start will be to invite 21 of our dear Maharshi Vedic Pundits to lead us in some special recitation today that they chose especially. So now it's my great honor and my great joy to welcome our dear Maharshi Vedic Pundits to send their blessings to those listening from Australia to Scandinavia, from start to finish, so to speak. So now it's my honor to invite Maharshi Vedic Pundits. Abhi hum bahut khushi aur sabhagya ka din hai ke Maharshi Vedic Pundits abhi paramba hai. Jai Gurudev.
Om Bhadran Karneभिः शृणुयाम Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshaviryajatraः Sthirairangayastuष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः Vyasema Devahitam Yadayo Swasti na Indro Vradhasrava Swasti na Pusa Vishwaveda Swasti nastariksho Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadatu Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Kartasi Tvameva Kevalam Dhartasi Tvameva Kevalam Hartasi Tvameva Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshadatmasi Nityam Ritam Vachmi Satyam Vachmi Avatvam Mam Avavaktaram Avasrotaram Avadataram Avadataram Avanochanavasishyam Avapaschatata Avapurastada Avottarata Avadakshinata samantat Tvam vāngmayastvam chinmayah Tvamanandamayastvam brahmamayah Tvam satchidananda dvitiyosi Tvam pratyaksham brahmasi Tvam jnanamayo vijnanamayosi Sarvam jagadidam tvatto jayate Sarvam jagadidam tvattastisthati Sarvam jagadidam tvailayameshyati Sarvam jagadidam tvai pratyeti Tvam bhūmiyapo nalo nilo navah Tvam cattvari vākpadāni Tvam gunatrayātītah Tvam vastatrayātītah Tvam dehatrayātītah Tvam kālatrayātītah Tvam mūlādhārasthitosi nityam Tvam shaktitrayātmakah Tvam yogino dhyayanti nityam Tvam brahma Tvam vishnustvam rudrastvam indrastvam agnistam vayustvam suryastvam chandrastvam brahma bhuvasvarom Ganādīn purvamuccārya varnādīn stadanantaram
Jai Gurudev. So beautiful. What a great honor to have these great Maharshi Vedic Pandits doing this recitation. Bahut dhanyavad, bahut acha. Jai Gurudev. So the second part of what we'd like to do is to invite some people who have come to the Brahmastan from around the world and give their comments and their feeling about being here. So they're going to take a minute because we only have one camera operating today. So while the pundits go out the left side, by tarafa bijana chati, then right side, Thomas and the other people can please come up and they'll stand this way. And then they can give some kind of a brief overview. And then afterwards, I'd like to invite Raja Bruce and also Raja Felix to give their reflections on it. But now, Thomas, we'd invite you to please come up.
Dear all, course participants, listeners at home, Maharishi Vedic Pandits and Rayas, it's a real privilege to be here. 46 years ago, India transformed my life when I took my teacher training course in Rishikesh, and Maharishi had Vedic Pandits reciting for us during the course. And that gave a really deep impression. And then I heard about Brahmastan. I felt this tender impulse of joy and love that I want to go there. And finally I'm here, and I feel really at home here. It's really a lively silence. And as during my TTC, you realize how you, in a completely natural, spontaneous way are becoming more and more awake, more softer in your body, and you feel the joy to be here together with all of you. And yes, I'm just happy to be here and invite all of you to come here. It's such a good experience and everything is working very well. And it's good comfort on all the levels. Please.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev. My name is Fred Travis. I have the pleasure of recording people's brainwaves while they listen to the live Vedic recitation, and also the chance to listen to them myself. From the side of science, listening to Vedic recitation, it enlivens the brain patterns seen when you're following an ongoing inner mental activity, and it enlivens the brain patterns of transcending. Together, it's bringing out the point that the Vedic recitation is following those sequences of sounds in your own self-referral consciousness. Now, personally, the experience I have is Vedic recitation is growing from inside out, because the Ved is a structure of self-referral consciousness. It's that lively transformation at the source of thought, and when the sounds come in the ears from the Vedic pundits, it's actually enlivening the Ved deep within your own silence. And it's making each natural law more awake, warmed up, and full. I find the interior of life is getting fuller and richer, and the interior silence is growing and it begins to permeate outside. So I echo what Thomas said. If you find an opportunity to come here, it's a Vedic technology that Maharshi has given to the world, and take advantage of it. Thank you very much.
Jai Gurudev. My name is Mette. I came from Norway, but I live in Sweden. I became a teacher in Mallorca in 1970. So I would like to say a greetings from Norway and Sweden, to ask all the governors to come here. I have been to many rounding courses in my life, and this is the best one. You transcend it at once. You come in the flying room. And so nice women from Sweden and all over the country I hear. We are a big family. So I will ask all people to give money to the pandits. We need 9,000, you told us yesterday. So we need a lot of donation from all over the world. And I will say to my friends in Norway and Sweden, just come down here. I have never transcending so deep in my life. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Jai Gurudev.
Hej och hallå allihop. I've been here sometimes now, and it's fabulous every time, and to hear the Pandits recite the Vedic hymns, it's like, well, if you think it was nice when you heard it over the television, you should come here and compare. It's much better. And all these nice people you meet, everyone is happy and enjoying, and it's very, very good. Okay, so now I'm shown also, I think. So, but that's what I wanted to say. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you.
Hello, so I must put myself in front of the camera. Yes, I am Anne from France. It's the first time I'm coming here in the Brahmastan. I hope I'll be coming here tomorrow, next year also. And I would like to talk about an experience during Mahadurga. And I was sitting here and I was feeling I was as if I was Mahadurga myself. And as if all the pandits were chanting for me. So I understood after the experience I understood after the experience better that the sounds just enliven the qualities of Maya Durga inside. So that's why I felt like that, you know. And the day after, there was a Atiruda Bishek, and the experience was quite different. It was a level of the mind. The mind was so vast, was immense, and more than unbounded, if it's possible, you know. So it was quite an experience. The silence is more than a silence here. It's the silence of the silence, you know. Very, very deep. So I invite everybody to come here, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Philippe Chauvency. I came here 10 times already. Okay. What really I would like to talk to you about today, it's not really my experience over here, because I think my other fellow Siddhas talked about it already, but what happened when you go back home, really? And because you must be wondering why he's coming 10 times here. Well, kind of strange, right? But when you go back home, you always bring something of the Brahmastan home. It's something very different, very deep. And then I found out after all these times that I'm really enjoying happiness. Not happiness as a mood or an emotion, real happiness. You're really going to life with happiness integrated on a daily basis. That's why you should come to the Brahmastan as much as you can. It's a great, great place to be. And as always said, it's God's country home, and that's where you should be. Thank you. Take a good day.
It's now my honor to invite Roger Bruce Plout to comment on his experience with him and his great family being here at the Brahmastan.
So thank you, Jai Guru Dev. This is the 7th year now that Kim and I have been coming to the Brahmastan. We've been here for 1 or 2 months every winter. And I guess my first comment is, sitting next to Raja Harris, is the incredible job that he and Arlene and Rajajeshri, Lauren have done to make this place what it is. Really, that's their, I would say, indomitable one-pointed focus that has built this place. And year after year we come back here, and we know it's the nature of life to grow. And every year we come back here, and it's like we've forgotten how great it is here, how wonderful it is here. And every year it's bigger and better and more powerful. So our wish certainly is to keep coming back here for many years. You know, one of the experiences that we have here, and it was really been lively this year, is that, you know, we're administrators for the global country of world peace. And we have a unique style of administration. Maharshi called it administration through silence. It's not administration through doing, it's administration through being. And our program is to align the individual mind, the individual awareness with the cosmic awareness to capture that power of the invincible natural law to support everything we're doing. And Maharshi was always very encouraging for the Rajas to come here and be at the Brahmastan, because he said you will have more success from here. And that program of aligning the individual mind there with the cosmic mind will be easier. And that is an experience which is very lively, and it came up again. We've only been here for a couple of weeks now, but all of a sudden, desires which we've had for some of our countries for many years, all of a sudden, they're just happening. And we give all the credit to the Brahmastan here, to the actual physical location here at the center of India, the center of Ved Bhumi Bharat, but also here, being here with the Vedic pundits, being here with the big group. It's really, really powerful and really been, you know, exciting and to see what's happening. Also, one thing that we find incredibly fulfilling here is being here with all these people from around the world. And you're here, you see Siddhas, You know, almost every country of the world, it seems like, comes through here. And you sit there and you look in their faces, you see their shining faces, you look in their eyes, and you know that there they are, everyone there, different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds, but everyone experiencing that same thing, that field of pure consciousness, transcendental consciousness, Atma, the self. Maharshi said, 8 billion people in the world, one Atma. And you see that there. You look at everyone and know that they're experiencing what I'm experiencing, what everyone else is experiencing. It's all the same. It's one self, one field of pure consciousness. So it's really, amazing being here. I would encourage anyone, if you can possibly come here, if you're a meditator or a siddha, I would put it on the top of your list of things to do in your life. And to be connected here in any way you can, it will enrich your life, and also it enriches the world, because our goals here, of course, are big. We want to create heaven on earth, eliminate suffering quickly in the world, and really have a world free from problems. And the secret Maharshi has given us, of course, is big groups of yogic flyers and the Maharshi Vedic Pandits performing yagya to support every country in the world from that level of pure consciousness. So thank you very much, and Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. I'm particularly thinking of everyone who is today watching, that all of you are actually contributing to the wonderful experience everyone has here. And this is your support to the Pandits makes it possible for us to really dive deeply into that wonderful level of inner dynamic silence. Reflecting on my own experience of coming to the Brahmastan is first coming to India. And coming to India is for me always like coming home. Although it's quite an exotic home, but if I feel totally at home. There is a quality of consciousness in India that just resonates with a very deep core within ourselves. Then traveling to the Brahmastan itself is coming even closer to home. And I clearly remember one experience when I came here for the first time, and we were flying towards Jabalpur. Suddenly I felt the presence of Gurudev extremely lively in this whole area. And it's not surprising, because this is a place where Gurudev has spent many, probably decades, in the forests of the Amakantak, which is just a few hours from here. And it's also the place where Maharshi grew up. So it's really, in that way, our home. It's from where Gurudev comes, from where Maharshi comes, from where this beautiful knowledge has emerged. And so it resonates profoundly with ourselves. And so that experience of coming home, and like I said, it's exotic also when you are going to the dining hall here. The food is delicious, a little bit exotic. Everything you see, also when you come from our beautiful place where we all stay, it's almost a 5-star hotel, I would say. When we come here, also the trip itself in the bus is pretty exotic. We look left and right, and even so, we might have been here many times, but still, you can't get enough of looking out of the window and seeing how the people live here. And often I hear the question, is it safe to go to India? Yes, it's totally safe. The food is pure, the water we get is pure, the climatic conditions are perfect. Being here with the Pandits, it's just totally relaxing. So nobody should worry to come here. Everyone should feel completely at home. And I can say what Raja Bruce already said, Raja Harris and his dear family really, really, really make sure that we feel comfortable and at home. So a very warm welcome to all the great donors and sponsors of the Pandits to come yourself here or come again here to experience this wonderful atmosphere of being at home. Jai Gurudev.
This is so much fun. It's a real treat to listen to everybody's voice. People who have come for the first time from Norway and spoke so beautifully, people who have come a few times from Sweden and from France 10 times. It's really great. I was feeling so happy listening to everybody's voice that I wanted to deviate from the plan a little bit for the rest of the meeting. Originally, I was going to take some questions that people had written in, but it's such a rare chance to listen to people talking about what it's like to be here, and it's very moving. So I was going to actually, without telling them, warning them beforehand, I was going to ask some people, actually, if they'd like to give some short reflections. And the first one I was thinking to ask, the first two I was thinking to ask, are Dr. Chris and Dr. Ann Kroll. And the reason I'd like to do that is because Dr. Kroll is the Minister of Religion and Culture for the global country of world peace. And his dear wife Anne's passion is that the culture of every country is really enlivened from its basis. I remember that on January 12th we had a celebration here in the Brahmastan. And unbeknownst to Dr. Kroll, at the last minute he was asked to speak to the couple thousand people here. And in just a few words, he gave such a deep understanding of what Maharshi was trying to create in the Brahmastan. So not to put pressure on him to replicate that, but if he and Dr. Ann could come and just give their reflections on what it's like to be here. And while he's coming up, because it'll take a minute to come up, anyone else who would like to come could think what if they could just kind of show me with their hands, and we can invite just a few more people afterwards to come up. We'll maybe take 5 or 10 more minutes, and then we'll end this meeting.
Jai Gurudev. Well, it's a great treat and a great honor to be connected with everyone here in the Brahmastan, as well as around the world, with this context of creating heaven on earth and nourishing all of the world families through this very powerful initiative Maharshi's created here in the center point of India with the great team of Maharshi Vedic pundits who are really transforming the trends of time. And we know from Stapachived, Maharshi Stapachived, that the center point of everything, the Brahmastan of everything, is that silent wholeness which nourishes and administers all of the different aspects of the organism, for instance, in a cell or in a house. It is that seat of natural law. And here we are in the Brahmastan of India, which is not just the Brahmastan of anything. It is the Brahmastan of that nation, that part of the world, which is Ved Bhumi Bharat. It is the land of the Ved. It is Dev Bhumi Bharat. It is that land where natural law, the Devatas, are most lively. So here we are really in the center point of creation, if you will. This spot where we are, where Maharshi has established this program, there is no place that is like this. It is, Maharshi said, the holiest of holy places. So you think of all the great auspicious places in the world where natural law has been enlivened in the Vedic culture and in all cultures around the world. There are all these very special places. And of all of those, here in the Brahmastan of India, this must be the most lively place where Maharshi would invest his energy and his resources of his Vedic pundits and all of the great supporters of the movement to build up this administrative center where we're very fortunate to be. And as Raja Bruce was saying, this is administration through silence. It is administration through enlivening in natural law, that administering intelligence which governs the entire universe. And we are very fortunate, I think, to be able to participate in this experience. And of course, very fortunate for anyone to who have the ability to connect themselves to this activity through their sponsorship, through their support. This is something which is very, very valuable, not just for the world, but for ourselves individually, that we are participating in something which is transforming life towards heaven on earth. And I, from my side, I just feel such gratitude and appreciation to everyone, whatever participation they are making. It is so precious and so valuable. And I'm also so heartened to see that people of every country are participating, because this means that that nourishing connection is reaching out all over the world and embracing our entire world family to really create that vision that Maharishi had of a world of peace and harmony, prosperity, heaven on earth. And I think I better turn it over to my wife before I go too long. Thank you. Take it in.
This is, Maharishi has described Yagya as being the science of transformation. And I think everyone who has spoken today and who expresses their appreciation for their experiences that they've gained here is just that, is describing a transformation. And these are the top leaders of our world. We have the Rajas, the ministers, the national directors, their governors, our siddhas, even some of our dear meditators come here and report the same thing, a transformation of their consciousness, already deeply established, even before they came, rising to another level of possibilities. And when Maharishi envisioned this place, this spot on earth, as being the focus for global transformation, he knew that one of the side benefits would be that we as individuals can take a new giant step in our personal evolution. At the same time, we are supporting the evolution of our global family. So it's a 2-for-1 here. Everyone gets the personal experience, the wonderful joy, the bliss that stays with them until they come back for another phase of fulfilling bliss, a new level, again, beyond the imagination. When we look at the news, before we come to the center point here, the Brahmastan, we wonder, how can the Ministry of Religion and Culture possibly provide the solution to these problems fast enough? And this year was probably the most delicate time we personally have experienced in a long time. How can we solve these very pressing problems that are affecting our world family? And then we come here and we see again the structure that Maharishi has created. 1, create a large group of 7,000 to 8,000 yogic flyers in one place. 2, institute the perfect recitation of the formula created by nature herself to establish a permanent global Ram Raj. And here, through your great support, through your great participation, we can fulfill both of those goals, 7,000 group and Vedic recitation, all in one stroke, and personal evolution. So thank you very much for coming and for joining the family of Maharishi Vedic Pundits from wherever you are at any time. And once again, we'd like to express our deep appreciation to the great organizers of all of this. And that, of course, is the Kaplan family and our great Indian leaders and the harmonious atmosphere they have created through their outreach program around the world through the Ramananda Saraswati Trust and Foundation. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. My name is Boel from Sweden, and I went here for the first time because I wanted to check if the money I've spent on yagas and such things, if they really are, if it really is a Brahmastan with full of pundits that are chanting for me. I did this yagya in the middle of the 90s, 96 maybe, a birthday yagya. It costed $2,500, and then they said my name, they said, And I did it for a better health. And yes, it worked. So far it has worked. So it is really nice to be here and see that it is true. We are in a big hall where we have been listening to 1,331 pundits yesterday, and it was tremendous, I think the word is. Yes, I'm really grateful to Maharishi and to Brahmastan and to all the Maharishi family. Jai Gurudev.
So I think we have time for two more, the last two. One is Barbara, who's been here for a lot the last year, and then right after her, not that she doesn't yet know that she wants to speak, but right after Barbara, then Dr. Irene Earle really silently wants to speak because she's been organizing the courses. So she'll be our last speaker today. But Barbara, please go ahead.
Jai Gurudev. I just wanted to say that, as Anne was saying, I feel that this is one of the most evolutionary places in the world to be. I feel that the silence that one experiences here is really unique. I've been meditating for many, many years, and I've been a teacher for many, many years, but that experience of unbounded awareness is just there. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I just feel unbounded awareness. And when I hear the pundits, unbounded awareness. And it's just there. It's just on the surface of everything, that glowing feeling of wholeness, that feeling of being in the gap, and that gap being infinitely lively with those infinitely dynamic particles of light. And I just feel that it is just such a sweet, nourishing place to be, and it's a family feeling. And the flying here is, we're not a group of 1,000 or 800 people flying, but in the small group, everyone is deeply focused on the program, and it's a very, very powerful place to do group program. So I would encourage anyone who can possibly come to come and join the family here. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. I've had the very great fortune of being here every season since we started in 2011 and 2012. And I have to say that for me, this is definitely home. It's a wonderful place. You meet wonderful people. You listen to the pundits every day. You're completely comfortable. As someone mentioned, the food is great, the people are great, the routine is great. You hear beautiful tapes of Maharishi. And over the years, we've made many improvements so that we are rising to that 5-star level. You know, when you hear the news and you hear that there's all kinds of fighting and disharmony in the world, and then you come here, and the minute you get off the bus, you're part of the Brahmastan family. And whether we can actually talk to each other in words, because sometimes we don't speak the same language, but we can always look at each other, look in each other's eyes and smile, and we're connected on that very, very deepest level. And there's probably very few places in the whole world where so many people from so many different countries could come together, all for the same purpose, all in harmony, all in bliss, all in joy, and listen to the pundits every day. So if you come, when you apply, I'll be the person that you will be communicating with, and I will do everything I can to make your coming here easier. I'll answer your emails, I'll answer your questions, and so I would like to extend, on behalf of all the course leaders, a very, very warm invitation to come and enjoy this most wonderful, holiest place in all the world. Jai Gurudev.
Everybody spoke so beautifully. I'd like to end by briefly answering a question that we have a wonderful ambassador from Australia, Peter Fenwick, who wrote. Peter, who is always organizing what he can do to help with everybody in Australia, including this particular week that the organization, the National Administration of TM in Australia, decided that they wanted to make sure to every quarter themselves sponsor national yagyas for Australia. So thank you very much to MGANL, Marshy Global Administration through Natural Law in Australia. And while we had questions from a number of Australians, including one from Yasmin Kowalski, who was one of our course leaders last year, so Yasmin will take it next time. But Peter said, what is really the historic significance of this project? Why are we doing it? And the answer is we're doing it for two reasons. The first is we're doing it for ourselves, because by creating this place where people can have that intimate, deep, profound experience in the most natural and long drawn-out way of their own, as Roger Bruce said, of the Atma, clear experience of the self, we structure that memory, we re-enliven that memory, and we make sure that in this lifetime we do justice to the promise with which we came in and which we want to be sure to leave. That is, that we want to make sure that that enormous pure potentiality of human life, living ourselves, inner fulfillment, the light of life lit in each one of our hearts, that we're able to do it. And the Brahmastan offers that as an experience, just as Barbara and others beautifully said. Even more than that, if you could say, even more than that, the historical need of the time necessitated that there was a Maharshi. The need of the time, with the growth of technology, with the growth of communication, necessitated that there would be some way that instead of chaos and turmoil, that the world could have the chance for peace, for harmony, and for progress. And sometimes when we're away from that, we feel like, oh, come on, Harris. It feels like it's a little far away from what we experience. But everyone who comes to the Brahmastan will tell you, for example, walking out after Ati-Rujabhi, I can feel it. I can feel that the world is moving in that direction. I can see that this 50 years of Maharshi going around the world and teaching people in Sweden, courses in Rishikesh, courses in Majorca and Fuji, all that time, year after year, has created the seed for this much better time in the world. I was deeply struck by what Dr. Ann Kroll said about the sincerity of their desire, that they look around and think, okay, now, come on, this year, how can we fulfill this need for the religion, for the culture, for the happiness, for the peace, for the prosperity, for the good health of every dear nation to be fulfilled. We can do that in a simple, quiet, unseen way, and that is to continue to make this home of total knowledge, the Brahmastan of India, lively. That we have here the 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 pundits, that we continue to expand the Ati-Rujabhi, and that from here the light goes out to the whole world and blesses Sweden, blesses France, blesses Germany, blesses every country with what really, really we all want. The pundits at the end say, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve shanto niramayaha, that sweetness, that peace, that goodness would belong in every family, in every home. I think we're going to create it all together. Huge thank you to everybody around the world who's watching and thinks to themselves, I can also help create this place of peace. Thank you to all those who came from Romania and from Canada and from Scandinavia and from everywhere who came here and lent your support to the Brahmastan of India. And huge thanks to Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, who gave us this blessing that it is possible to create this enlightenment for ourselves and invincibility for every nation. So with great regards to everyone from the Brahmastan of India, Jai Guru Dev.